Mars, the red planet, empty, cold, and with a sort of cosmic sadness, is said to be our next inhabitant. But why is this red planet can be Earth 2.0? Mars has long been considered a possible home for life, and scientists are now more confident than ever that the red planet may indeed be habitable. There is evidence that Mars once had a much thicker atmosphere and liquid water flowing on its surface, which are two essential ingredients for life as we know it. Even today, there is evidence of liquid water beneath the Martian surface, and the planet's atmosphere contains organic molecules, which are the building blocks of life. One of the most important pieces of evidence for Mars' habitability is the presence of liquid water. Liquid water is essential for life as we know it, and it is thought to be necessary for the formation and evolution of life. Mars has evidence of both past and present liquid water. In the past, Mars had a much thicker atmosphere and liquid water flowing on its surface. Evidence for this includes ancient riverbeds, deltas, and lakes. Today, there is evidence of liquid water beneath the Martian surface in the form of permafrost and aquifers. There is also evidence of liquid water flowing seasonally on the Martian surface in the form of recurring slope linea. Another important piece of evidence for Mars' habitability is the presence of organic molecules. Organic molecules are the building blocks of life, and they are essential for the formation and evolution of life. Organic molecules have been found on Mars in a variety of places, including in meteorites, in the Martian atmosphere, and in the Martian soil. The presence of organic molecules on Mars suggests that the planet has the potential to support life. In addition to the presence of liquid water and organic molecules, Mars also has a number of other characteristics that make it a good candidate for habitability. Mars is similar in size to Earth, which means that it has enough gravity to retain an atmosphere and liquid water. Mars is also located in the solar system's habitable zone, which means that it receives the right amount of sunlight to support liquid water on its surface. Finally, Mars has the potential to be terraformed, or transformed into a more Earth-like planet. But how exactly will we do that? Let's consider a hypothetical human settler attempting to live on Mars. Initial arrival and survival. Upon arrival, astronauts will enter an environment defined by its lack of forgiveness. The first protocol is securing habitation, activating pre-deployed habitats, or assembling quickly deployable structures. These will be small to begin with, offering little more than a few cubic meters of personal space. Each astronaut will have tasks critical to survival, from establishing power connections to initiating life support systems, all while operating under suit protocols that safeguard against the loss of air and heat. Check-ins with mission control on Earth will follow a rigid communication protocol, with every message delayed by the time it takes light to travel the expanse between the two planets. Emergency protocols must be second nature, rehearsed and ready to execute at the slightest hint of air pressure loss, power failure, or life support malfunction. A breach in the habitat could mean a loss of precious warmth and oxygen, so instant, precise reactions are drilled into the team. Building basic infrastructure. Months into the mission, the focus will shift to infrastructure. Protocols for the use of heavy machinery in reduced gravity will be critical. Equipment behaves differently when there's less weight holding it down. Construction protocols dictate not just how to build, but also how to secure tools and materials against the Martian wind, which can be surprisingly strong. Dust management procedures are essential to maintain solar panel efficiency and prevent mechanical degradation. During this phase, a medical protocol becomes increasingly important. The limited medical facilities require stringent health and safety procedures to prevent accidents. Every injury is potentially more serious on Mars, where medical evacuations back to Earth are not an option. Towards a sustainable settlement. Years into colonization, when astronauts begin to rely on Mars-grown food, agricultural protocols govern every aspect of planting, harvesting, and recycling plant matter. These are not just guidelines, but the difference between sustenance and starvation. The enclosed farming systems are delicate and sensitive to contamination, so protocols for cleanliness and contamination prevention are rigorous and unforgiving. Long-term expansion and self-sufficiency. As decades pass and the settlement grows into a colony, the protocols evolve with the expanding society. A protocol for resource rationing could become necessary if ISRU systems fail to meet the increasing demands. New protocols for social interaction, education, and conflict resolution will emerge as the colony becomes a society unto itself. These protocols serve as the framework for a functioning community, maintaining order and ensuring equitable resource distribution. Establishing an independent Martian society. Over generations, as the inhabitants of Mars transition from settlers to natives, the protocols they follow will be as much a part of their culture as laws and traditions are on Earth. They will dictate the operation of the terraforming machinery intended to warm the planet and thicken the atmosphere, establish communication norms with the Earth they've never seen, and regulate the use of technology to prevent technological and ecological disasters. Throughout all these phases, every action taken by the Martian settlers will be underpinned by protocols designed for safety, efficiency, and the preservation of life in a world that, while it may one day blossom with human activity, will always remain fundamentally alien. The settlers' adherence to these protocols is what will make living on Mars feasible. It's the structure within which humanity can extend its reach into the cosmos. As Martian settlers adapt to their new environment over time, several significant changes are likely to occur, which will affect their physiology, psychology, and society as a whole. What can exactly happen to the Mars settlers? Physiological changes. Given the lower gravity of Mars, which is only about 38% of Earth's, the settlers' bodies would undergo a range of adaptations. Over prolonged periods, we could see a decrease in bone density and muscle mass, similar to what astronauts experience in the microgravity of space, despite countermeasures like vigorous exercise. The human cardiovascular system, which is adapted to Earth's gravity, might also evolve to accommodate the reduced need to pump blood against the pull of gravity, potentially resulting in a lower blood pressure system-wide. Moreover, settlers' vestibular systems, central to balance and spatial orientation, might adjust to the new normal of Mars' reduced gravity, potentially altering their coordination and gait. Reproductive and genetic changes. The effects of Mars' gravity and its heightened radiation levels could have implications for human reproduction and development. In the lower gravity conditions of Mars, it's possible that human gestation could encounter unforeseen complications or changes in fetal development. Over generations, the DNA repair mechanisms of the settlers might adapt to cope better with the increased radiation, potentially leading to evolutionary changes. Although these changes would occur over many generations, the unique conditions of Mars might drive natural selection in a direction different from that on Earth. Psychological and cognitive changes. The human brain may adapt to the different sensory inputs and stress factors of living on Mars. Cognitive processes could evolve to prioritize spatial awareness in a three-dimensional environment, where falling or tripping could be more dangerous due to weaker muscles and bones. Psychological adaptations would also be key to long-term survival, potentially leading to an evolved human who is more resilient to the effects of isolation, stress, and the unique demands of Martian living. Social and cultural evolution. Over time, Martian settlers would likely develop a culture distinct from Earth's, shaped by the environment and challenges of Mars. New traditions, social norms, and perhaps even dialects or languages could emerge within isolated communities. As settlers become more self-sufficient, their sense of identity may shift, fostering a new planet-specific heritage. Evolution of physical appearance. It is possible that the physical appearance of humans on Mars would change over extensive periods. Characteristics advantageous in a Martian environment, such as larger pupils due to lower light levels or changes in body composition due to different activity levels, could become prevalent. Martian humans might also exhibit a paler skin tone due to the reduced sunlight, or they might engineer their skin to synthesize more vitamin D under the weaker UV light. The journey of Martian settlers would become not only a monumental technological challenge, but also a biological and social experiment on a planetary scale. The daily maintenance of life support systems, the management of resources, and the continuous innovation required for survival would occur concurrently with these slow, perhaps imperceptible changes to the settlers themselves. Over many generations, the settlers of Mars could evolve into a population distinctly adapted to the red planet, both physically and mentally, potentially even branching into a new evolutionary path for humanity. And yet, despite these inconveniences, corporations and billionaires are queuing up for their piece of the Martian pie. Mars, with its untapped potential, is capitalism's new Wild West. There's a certain romance to it. Venture into the unknown, build from the ground up, and maybe find a resource or two that'll make the treacherous journey worthwhile. Elon Musk's SpaceX is leading the charge, with dreams of reducing the cost of space travel to the price of a median house on Earth. Musk himself has suggested nuking the poles to warm things up, a bold move that redefines climate change. It's a testament to human ambition that we're willing to gamble on terraforming a whole planet instead of tackling the daunting task of saving the one we've already warmed up quite effectively. The Martian initiative is wrapped in the flag of human survival and progress, but beneath the surface, it's a classic blend of optimism and opportunism. It's about staking claims, about the potential for untapped markets, new patents, and let's not be coy, the prestige of being the first to plant boots on alien soil. The conquest of Mars serves as a mirror to our terrestrial achievements and follies. As companies plot their Martian course, whether out of genuine concern for humanity's future or simply for the next gold rush, one thing is clear: Mars is not the sequel to Earth. It's a spin-off, and like all spin-offs, it may struggle to capture the essence of the original. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving us a like if you found this content informative. And remember, you can always leave your comments and suggestions down below. If you want more content like this, or if you have any specific topic you'd like us to cover in the future, please let us know. Your input shapes the direction of this channel. Once again, thank you for being a part of our incredible community. You may also want to check our video, The Lost Art of Wood Carving and America's Cryptid Creatures. See you next time.